Mr. Gonzales, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. I represent nearly half of the overall southern border. There's not a thing that happens that isn't in my district in some form or fashion. Last night, the FAA closed airspace over El Paso. The initial reports were showing cartel operations. My first question is to Administrator McNeil. Did the FAA contact and notify TSA before that closure?
We were notified early this morning.
You were notified before the closure happened? Or after the closure happened?
We received notice at around 4:30 this morning.
So after the closure had happened?
I believe that's the case.
Yes, so that's a problem. If there's a major closure, TSA should know that there's closure happening. So should other agencies within the government. My next question is for the FEMA administrator. Counter UAS, a big part of this is counter UAS. And to be frank, the United States is far behind our counter UAS operations, but we're working towards it. In the big, beautiful bill, we were able to get $500 million towards counter UAS that specifically is going to be administered by FEMA. My question to you is, where are we at with that program? How is that rolling out?
We're rolling it out in a most expeditious way. The sort of the amp up to it and the pre-launch capabilities are already in place. We'll be fully ready to go in advance of FIFA.
FIFA, I'm glad you brought that up. We have major events happening, and so if there is a lapse in funding, if anyone votes against a lapse in funding, it isn't a matter of just playing politics, which you often see up here. It's a matter of life and death. It's a matter of, these drone attacks, they're happening all over the world. This isn't a what if, this isn't a video game, this isn't off in the near future, this is now. And we are counting on FEMA. That's why we appropriated those $500 million. We're counting on FEMA, Department of War, and Department of Homeland Security to get that done. So thank you for the update on that. The other part of this too, it's not just money. We're appropriators. We often see the world through the lens of funding. It's also giving the authorizations to these agencies. And I was really proud to get in the National Defense Authorization Act language that tackles drone countermeasures to protect the public safety and critical infrastructures. That's what we need to work through, right? We need to work through how that language allows agencies to talk to one another. It's not the right course if FAA is closing the 23rd largest airspace in the country without anyone knowing. So we need to work through that. My next question is for Administrator McNeil. What is your current assessment of threats posed to drones to U.S. airports?
We have seen a lot of incidents both here in the U.S. and overseas where drone sightings have shut down operations in commercial airports. And so to your point about the passage of the authorities and the NDAA, we thank Congress for that authority. Our federal air marshals are very well positioned to take up that mission space, and we've been increasing our training within the federal air marshals and working closely with our colleagues across DHS to equip them with the right technology and train them and deploy them, especially in advance of the large world events that are coming this summer.
Thank you for that, and thank you for your leadership on that. This is, once again, this is a growing threat, right? This is a growing threat to airports. For any of us that live and work along the border, drone incursions are a daily thing. It's not necessarily this one-off. This literally happens every day. For us in the El Paso area, it literally happens every day. For the first time, the U.S. government is now starting to counter some of these things. I think it's really, really great. Well, we need to do more of it. My last question, which I thought was going to be my first question, Admiral, turned out to be my fifth question, is for you. I'd like to get an update on, first off, the men and women at Coast Guard are doing an incredible job. You are the tippy end of the spear, really handling what is happening in Venezuela. And I'd like to get an update on some of the things that are working and how are your partners out in that theater.
Sir, thank you very much for that. We have crews that are working hand in hand with the Department of War, especially when we start looking at these motor tankers and making sure that there's not a proliferation of sanctioned oil coming out of Venezuela. We have that area well locked down. We are continuing boardings, and some of those that actually got out of Venezuela. We have taken down in the Indo-PACOM area with, again, a joint Coast Guard and DOW force.
How many tankers so far?
So far, it's 9.
9 tankers. Incredible work. And that's another reason why we cannot have funding lapse. Coast Guard should not take it on the chin because of politics. Thank you, Chairman. I yield back.